Good evening. My name is Davender Gupta. Thank you very much for participating, for either watching this live or watching this video after the fact. Um, just to give you a bit of context, I'm currently working on a book project. The name of the project is called Business at the Speed of People. And I'm working on this with the help of my book coaches, Janet Goldstein and Elizabeth Marshall. And I'm at the stage now where I'm trying to format all of the tools and ideas and concepts that I've developed in the last 10 years of working with entrepreneurs uh, into a book. I don't know if it's a big book or a little book. Um, what I want to focus on right now is getting the ideas out. And to do so, I find that when I'm speaking to somebody, that the ideas flow a lot easier. So that's why I've proposed this series of webinars over the next few weeks to help me speak of the ideas. And then after that, once they're recorded, I'll take those and use them to create my first very rough, ugly draft, as Janet calls it. And at least I'll have something that I can work on and build the book from there. Um, and of course, I want to test these ideas with you. And as I'm speaking, if you have comments or questions or things that you'd like to add, definitely write them in the part in the chat area of the box, and I'll either look at it as I'm speaking or right after I'll go through it and answer any questions. Or after the fact, also feel free to call me, email me. I'm going to be putting this up on Facebook and my other locations to get some feedback from you. You are graciously agreeing to participate as my research and development team as I build out this book. So I've been talking. Some of you know me. I've been talking about getting a book out for the last 6, 7, 8 years. The time is right now for me to get this going. And what I've seen also is that these concepts and ideas, it now is the time to get them out. There is a market, there is an audience for these ideas, and I know they work. And I've had personal experience with my own business as well as the businesses of the people who I coach. So that's what this is all about. And this first call is entitled "What does being in business mean today?" And I wanted to sort of explore the framework of business at the speed of people in this discussion today. So it's going to be about 30, 40 minutes at the most. And of course, like I said, I'm open to any suggestions and ideas and comments that you may have as I go along. Please bear with me. This is very rough, and I'm feeling a lot of resistance about doing this, but I'm here and I'm doing it. So that's the point. So let's get into the topic. Um, so as I just mentioned, this is a first very rough draft of a book that I'm working on, and the working title is Business at the Speed of People. And the subtitle at this time on the 26th of October 2011, it's Business at the Speed of People, How to Successfully Launch Your Business in the Age of Disruption. And the idea around this is that right now we're going through a period on a worldwide level where everything that we thought we knew about the way economies work, the way business works, um, even how our societies are put together, all of these things that we took for granted are now being questioned. Um, Markets are upside down. The way money moves is all weird. It doesn't follow traditional patterns. There are people that are getting very, very rich, and other people who are doing amazing stuff that are just not creating the income that they need. And it's not because they're not good. It's because what I've noticed in a lot of the work I'm doing with my clients is that they're basing their business model, the way they are launching their business, they're basing it on assumptions that are no longer valid. I truly believe that there is some fundamental changes taking place right now, and it, of course, like in the Chinese characters, for crisis also means opportunity. You know that old saying, and I really believe that in this disruptive environment, in an age where everything is turning upside down, where prices in some ways are going down to free for many things that we used to pay a lot of money for, and vice versa. Other things that used to be free are now costing more and more. Um, the how we do things, the technology that we use changes radically from year to year to year, and even every 6 months, it seems to be changing and disrupting. Disrupting being a really key word nowadays, and the idea of disruption as change of the status quo, change of the way things are in such a way that you are rewriting the rules. That seems to be the key word for today. And so that's why I call this the age of disruption, because everything that we thought, everything we took for granted, everything that we thought we knew how it worked is being turned upside down. And this pace of change can only accelerate uh, since things. I would say, in my experience, um, I believe that when the internet started to really start to branch out, mid to end 90s, and it started to have an impact on our lives. And at first, it was corporations speaking to people. So it was another broadcast medium. But then people took control of the internet and started speaking to themselves. And that's what is creating this amazing pace of change. We have millions of voices talking to millions of voices, billions of people talking to billions of people. And that's where the disruption is happening right now, the democratization of everything around us. The power is coming back to the people. Now, are the people willing to take that power, to use that power for good? That's the challenge. That's what this age of disruption is all about. And that's why I call this business at the speed of people. It's no longer a business speaking to people. I believe that now it's people speaking to people. And that's what I want to explore today. So let's start here. I'm sort of switching back. At the last minute, I've switched a couple of slides, and but we'll come back to the slides I've just skipped over. I talk about the mythical market. So in every small business course, you're supposed to define your market and do a market survey, and is there demand? And I think that is a fundamental change. I don't think that markets exist anymore. And markets used to be monolithic. They used to be something that you could define. But now, today, during the second decade of the 21st century, man, how time just goes, I don't think markets exist anymore. That's the question I ask you. In a disruptive economy, what is the market? Does it really exist? And that's because I think that there is a new type of economy that is emerging. If we look at traditional economics, and when I was in university, I had to take economics, economics 101. As part of my engineering degree. It was a required elective, required arts elective, and surprisingly, I failed it. I almost failed it. I think I just squeaked by, because all these nice curves that they were showing us, supply and demand and those kinds of things, when I tried to apply them in my own experience, they just didn't work. And this was back in the early 80s. Economics presents itself as a science, but really it's a bunch of hypotheses and a bunch of assumptions. That's what economics is all about. And those assumptions are falling apart now because the fundamental relationship between people has changed. It really has changed in the last 20 years. How we connect, how we communicate has changed, and that has spawned a new economy. The new economy is not the economy of new products and services. It is really a new type of economy. So in economics, we have macroeconomics, which is the exchanges between nations. So when we're talking about, monetary policy and those kinds of things, that's macroeconomics. Then you have microeconomics, and these are the two elements of economics that are traditionally taught. That's the exchanges between markets, supply and demand. Actually, I should say exchanges between producers and consumers. It's the supply and demand. That's microeconomics. And so we're going from the nation, now we're going to markets. But I believe if we look closer and closer and closer, if we go down to the atomic level, just like, there is between planets, there's gravitational forces, and then you start coming to between at the more local level, then there's gravitation is less important, and then there's other forces that come into play, electrical and magnetic forces. But if you start going deeper and deeper and looking at atoms, there are subatomic forces that are greater than electrical forces and magnetic forces and gravitational forces. And that's what I call the nano-economy, the nano-economics. It's the economics of exchanges between people. And at the person-to-person level, which is where business at the speed of people is focusing on, business at a personal level, business is personal, then the value equation changes. It's not about money. Money is important, but it's not the prime mover when we're talking about business at a personal level. There are other elements that come into play, and that's what I want to present a little bit tonight and over the next couple of weeks. And so business at the speed of people, for me, is this concept of nano-economics. And tools such as the internet and social media and all of these ability to communicate person to person, which is shattering the old ways of marketing, the old ways of trying to persuade people using mass consumer marketing. All that is shattering. All that doesn't work anymore, because now we are interacting with each other at a subatomic level, person to person, at a nano-economic level. And that completely changes the game. That's what business at the speed of people means. So in traditional business, you're trying to convince. In traditional business, I am a business, I am an entity, and I'm trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince you to give me your money, and in return, I give you a product and service. And it's a little bit, what I say on the left side here, it may be a little bit caricature, but it is that. When I deal with a traditional business, they put a veneer of being friendly, a veneer of wanting to communicate, but it's obvious that it's customer relation management systems that are doing the work. It's all about managing. In the traditional business, they want to manage the relationship. They create an urgency so that I want to buy. They use techniques, persuasion techniques and closing techniques to close the sale. And basically when the sale is done, they are happy, they get their money. I'm supposed to be happy, I get the products and services, and we part ways, and that's it. But in the nano economy, business at the speed of people, this nano economy, it's different. My My communication efforts, my marketing efforts, my positioning is about finding the right people. It's a process of elimination. It's not just about finding a client. It's about finding the right person that I want to partner with, to build trust with, to create an exchange. And I'm going to explain in a minute what I mean by that. But it is all about how I can make a difference in my client's life. That's what business at the speed of people is about. That's what this nanoeconomics is about. I want to help you, and in return, you're helping me. But I'm first motivated by wanting to make an impact, by wanting to make a change, by wanting to help people live a better life. That is the fundamental motivation in the nano economy. It is about doing good. First you do good, and then the reward for that is creating value, is creating wealth. But the fundamental requirement is we need to do good. And of course, in the nano economy, people are free to decide for themselves. And it is about creating trust. It's about creating a relationship, a real relationship, person-to-person relationship. Even if you're a bigger company, the relationship is still person-to-person. You know, I know of some companies, some stores that I like, some companies that I deal with, and I know precisely that my contact person there, the company is not a faceless organism. There is a face, there is a person. The nano economy is not for everybody. It doesn't replace what's already there. It's just another economy that is coming up. It's a third economy that I believe is self-sufficient in the long run as it gets organized. This nano economy, business at the speed of people. So the concept of business, if you look at the picture that's in front of you, typically, let me see here. I'm just trying to get my, oh, there's my arrow. Typically, when you start defining a business plan in your typical start your own business courses, you work a lot on, what people need, what people want, what others need and want. That's where we start. But in business at the speed of people, I believe business starts with me. Business is a way for me to express who I am. It's a way for me to grow, to explore my full potential. Explore my full potential in offering my resources to others in a way that it meets their passions, needs, and desires. And that's why this common part here in the middle, the market of mutual profit, where you benefit and I benefit because we're exchanging something that we have in common, something that I want, something that you have. And so we put it in common so that I can live my passions and desires, and I help you live your passions and desires. So the ultimate goal of business at the speed of people, business in the nano economy, is about creating value for you at the same time as I'm creating value for myself. So it is about a win-win exchange. You are offering me your time, your attention, your money, your whatever you're offering me, and in return, I'm giving you attention, I'm giving you information, I'm giving you inspiration. So we're exchanging something. It is a valuable exchange in order for you to win and for me to win. I get to express my mission, my vision, my values, and through what I offer to you, you get to experience part of your life too. So that's the exchange that's happening here. And for me, that's what business at the speed of people is about. The definition is to create a relationship of trust between me and my client in order to enable an exchange of value which creates a win-win result where I can experience my full potential, and I can help you experience a bit more of your full potential. And I forgot to put the definition in here, but it goes to my definition of success. What success is creating an experience of life which expresses our full potential. So I help you succeed, and in doing so, I succeed. To me, that is what business is all about. And business is how we organize ourselves as people, as teams, as networks, in order to make the world a better place where we can all express our full potential. Very high-sounding words, but it is very practical, because the motivation in the nano economy is to do good. That is the fundamental motivation of the nano economy. In the microeconomy, it is about making money. But in the nano economy, it's about doing good. And in doing good, we create value, and that value is worth money. So the goal is to build relationships of trust with people who inspire you to do great work. So as you're doing great work and you are living to your full potential, you're offering all your talents, your abilities, your knowledge, your experience, your skills. You're offering that to your client no matter what you are doing, whether you are a coach, whether you are a carpenter, whether you are a computer programmer, web designer. You're offering the best of what you have to offer to your client so that your client can also benefit. And that's what creates the relationship of trust. A relationship of trust specifically is about shared values. So the more values we share, the more valuable the relationship becomes, the more value you put on the exchange, and the more profitable the relationship becomes. Which leads me to this concept, the bedrock concept of the nano economy are the 4 P's: passion, purpose, people, and profit. Those are the 4 P's, which are the dimensions of the nano economy. And by the way, I just want to thank you, because now I've finally made the connection in my head in speaking this to you. The concepts I've had about the nano economy and about business at the speed of people, finally it's starting to make sense, at least to me, even though it might not be totally for you. I understand now. I got something just clicked in my mind over the last few minutes of sharing this with you. So thank you very much. You've already helped me win, and I hope I'm helping you win a little bit too today. So the 4 P's of the nano economy, the 4 fundamental pillars: passion, purpose, people, and profit. I'm just going to go over them really quickly, and over the next few weeks, I have already allocated a session for each of these P's. Next week, I'm going to talk about vision and mission, you know, and sort of this what, who and what, and why. And then we'll go starting week 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's passion, purpose, people, and profit. So passion, it's the creative tension between the present moment and the future you wish to create. So passion is about the size of your vision and the size of the change you wish to create in the world. In the age of disruption, the new normal is disruption. The new normal is not the status quo. It's not the age we live in is not an age for people who want to conserve the present. It is for people who want to progress into the future. And I'm using those words tentatively here, if you sort of get my political drift, because I really believe that it is about creating the future. And those who are proactively creating the future are those people who are going to win Those people who proactively create the future are those people who win in the nano economy. So it's about passion. It's about the size of your vision. It's about how you want to create the future. And that tension between the present moment, if I use this index finger as the present moment, and imagine, I always forget to bring it, but imagine there's a elastic between this finger, and this finger is the future. And so it's about defining a future. So imagine now I'm spreading the two fingers, and that there's a elastic between the two, and you start to feel a tension. It's about finding that right tension, and that tension is energy, and that tension is energy which allows me to bring the present into the future that I want. And then, this finger always being the present moment, then I define another piece of my vision, and I bring the future forward with me, the present forward with me again. So passion is about energy. It's about this creative tension that you want to create. So how you define your vision becomes crucial. The elements of defining a vision that moves you forward. And that's why I really believe that the future belongs to entrepreneurs. Because entrepreneurs, who we are, is about creating the future. Politicians don't create the future. CEOs of big corporations, they don't create the future. Those groups who typically we look to in order to progress society, they have too much invested in keeping things the way they are, in keeping the status quo. So those groups are not going to move society forward. They're not going to help us find the solutions to the big problems that we face today as humanity. Where are those solutions going to come from? They're going to come from entrepreneurs. They're going to come from people like you and me, members of the nano economy who value impact, benefit, change, making a better world, doing good. That's what's important for us in the nano economy, the people-to-people economy. And that's where the future gets created, from the size of our vision, the audacity of our vision, and our willingness to invest the time, money, energy, blood, sweat, and tears to make it happen. The second P, purpose. So yeah, it's great to have a big vision, but it has to be aligned. Has to be aligned with our mission, our vision, and our values. Like I said before, trust is how our values come together, how our shared values, how our vision comes together, what we have in common between you and me. That's what creates the trust. So my big vision has to be aligned with who I really am. And then I will attract people who value what I have to offer and who are ready to commit and be a part of this change I want to create. So purpose, getting really clear, the expression of who I really am. So that's where a lot of the deep down personal work has to take place. If I want to prosper in the nano economy, I have to have a strong personal foundation, be really clear about my mission, my vision, and my values, and be able to say it at the drop of a hat. And then people. I can't be in business just on my own. I need to exchange with somebody. And that's what people is all about. It's about attracting those stakeholders, not just people who are my clients, not just people who are my suppliers, but people who are my fans, building a tribe, building a group of people, a network of people who want to co-create this big vision. Again, that is the strength of the nano economy, of how people connect with each other. The technologies exist now so that I can speak to 1,000 people one-on-one. In the same way that I'm speaking to you now, you are watching me speak. I hope I'm connecting with you in some way. So it is about learning how to build a tribe, how to inspire a tribe, and as you start building it, the tribe, the community, this network of stakeholders who are impacted in a large or small way by your vision, takes on the vision that you are broadcasting, and it takes it on as their own, and then you see the results start to ripple through. The viral effects start to happen with your idea, with your concept. So it's how you connect with people, and how you start attracting those people who value what you have to offer and who are ready to commit. And finally, profit. And I bring that word with great deliberation. I'm doing it on purpose because I really believe, especially in the nano economy, we need to destigmatize profit. Yes, if we're exchanging something, it has to benefit you as much as it benefits me. And the benefits, so, I deliver something to you, it has a result, and that result creates benefits. And those benefits are what you value. And if I do what I do well, you get huge benefits for which you are willing to commit even more of your time, money, energy, effort, attention, love, trust, all of those things, so that you get more of it. And that's the virtual feedback loop. The virtuous feedback loop that starts to build. Yeah, virtuous, the virtue of it, not virtual as being intangible, but the virtuous loop, the virtuous cycle that starts to build. The more you value the results, the impact of what I'm creating for you, the more you commit to me, and the more you commit to the vision, and vice versa. And so it really becomes a very proactive exchange. Again, something that is unique to the nano economy. If the business is set up the right way, what happens is that a relationship gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and stronger and stronger and stronger, and we all benefit from that. So in the end, your market is no longer a static group of people that you can measure. It becomes now how visible you wish to be. Visible in the sense of what is the impact you want to create. So it is this network of people that I have around me that becomes important. That is my nano economy. My nano economy is the footprint of the reach around me. And in a practical way, you can measure your reach. There are tools out there now, and the number of friends you have on Facebook and Twitter, etc., the number of people you have in your mailing list, the number of people you have in your address book, and things like that. So you create your own market now. I don't care what everybody else's market is. That in the nano economy, that becomes a moot point. In the nano economy, my market is my visibility. It's my footprint, and I create that. So theoretically, I always have 100% market share in the nano economy. And now the idea is just to build my community, and the more I build my community, the larger my market. So I don't care about market share anymore. I don't care about market penetration. Those are microeconomic issues, not nano-economic issues. So yes, business at the speed of people is about defining what the nano economy is all about. The economy of the exchange of people to people. Wow. You guys have just given me a lot of clarity around that. It's clicking now. I'm really looking forward to writing this down. So in the end, the nano economy is based on this hypothesis that I believe to be very true, that for every combination of talents and passions and energies, there's somebody out there looking to connect with you. If we go back to the picture, there's somebody that is looking for what you have to offer. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. You know, there is somebody out there. That's what I want to find. You know, and I want to attract. I want to call out to that person. So this is me, and this is the other person, and it's about bringing these two circles together. So it is about communication. It is about relationships. It is about personal leadership. Those are the elements that create success in the nano economy. It's the economy of people, business at the speed of people. That's what this is all about. And I think that's it. I think that's the message that I needed to find tonight, that you've helped me to find. I must admit, you know, I've just put this together in the past 45 minutes, this presentation, based on stuff I had already made in my various workshops and coachings and things like that. But the piece that I really got today was that business at the speed of people is how to succeed in the new nano economy. That's what this is all about. Do you have any comments or questions? What did you get out of this? I'd appreciate if you could just mention very quickly on the chat. What did you get out of this conversation tonight? And if you're watching the video of this, please email me. I'd really like to know if this is if you've gotten something tonight. I have a couple of people here who are typing. And then I want to get to Andre's comment that he made after the typing. So what did you gain from this tonight? Yeah, it's about clarity. Thank you very much, Andre. It is about clarity as to who I want to attract and why and where. It's about building that network, building that community around. And your comment earlier, Andre, is very correct too. What scares people about thinking big is their comfort zone. And the problem is, if I stay in my comfort zone, like I said earlier, this age of disruption means that the only way to stay in the status quo is to move forward. You can't hold on to the way things are, because the way things are is changing very fast. The way I did things last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, doesn't work anymore today. And actually, you'll be seeing, especially for those of you who are in Quebec, starting in January, I'm doing a complete rebranding of my business, and that's going to also change what I'm doing on the English side too. Thank you very much, Olive. This came at the right time for me, about the relationship based on shared values between me and my clients. And I'm being really, really picky now when I bring on clients. I want to make sure that we're sharing values, that we share passions. I'm looking for people who are like me in many ways, who are, you know, I am looking at creating that community of people where we share ideas, and that we share passions, and we share values, and we share missions, that we're moving together. And that's why I say it's about looking for people who recognize the value of what you have of what you offer, and who are ready to commit. That is a key skill for building your community, and building your tribe, and building your business in this nano economy. I'd like to thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up there. I'd like to thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for listening to this video. If you look on my Facebook page, From Passion to Profit, I'm listing the upcoming events. Eventually, I'm going to create a website for business at the speed of people. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But for now, keep a look on my Facebook page, facebook.com/From Passion to Profit, or take a look at my blog, FromPassionToProfit.com, FromPassionToProfit.com, which you can also find through my landing page at CoachDavender.com. And I'll be putting up notes from this and the schedule of upcoming discussions. I believe the next one is on November 2nd, which is Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to talk about the vision, which I think is the element. It's not about a business plan, it's not about your strategy, it's about your vision. Everything builds on that when you want to compete in the new, when you want to participate in the new nano economy. So thank you very much, Andre. Thank you very much, Olive. Thank you to all of you who are listening tonight. I welcome your comments. Please email me, message me on Facebook. Let's start this conversation around business at the speed of people. Good night.